Alright, so for being my first Orion Pax figure, he's cool and everything, just... Can someone explain what this is? What's going on, everybody? Republic Cinema here, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers 1 Prime Changers Alpha Trion. Now, this figure was one of the first two Prime Changers revealed, and now he's finally out in shelves, and, well, having an Alpha Trion figure for the first time is pretty cool, but this one's a little weird. But before we talk any more about this figure, let's take a quick look at the packaging. So on the front is this nice CG rendition of the alt mode for Alpha Trion, and the rest of the front is all words, names, and logos. On the top is the Transformers 1 logo accompanied by the main protagonists, and on the bottom is all boring. On one side is all four of the main protagonists, and on the other side is just Alpha Trion. But then you turn to the back and you get a little bit more information on what you get inside the packaging. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the box. Now moving on back to the figure. So starting off, painting and sculpting is pretty good. However, I'd say the gray, purple, black, and whatever tan-ish sort of color scheme this is its own non-painted plastic. I'd say these lighter shades of purple are painted, as well as the head sculpt being painted with silver and with blue eyes. And for some reason, there is this big hole on his chest, which doesn't make any sense. I wonder if that was how he was designed to be. Also, the hands look as if they are equipped with knuckle dusters right here, but later on you'll find out that's just for alt mode. Now, kibble wouldn't have been a bit of an issue had it not been for this. This kind of gets in the way of posing this figure, so I guess they couldn't find any other place to put it, so they just put it here, which I guess wouldn't have been a problem had it not been a little annoying. Although, since it does look like a cape, I'm sure someone could do a stop motion animation of him falling down from somewhere and seeing his cape blown by the wind. Is this guy secretly Batman? Now, quality on this guy is actually not too bad. It's a little better than the Orion Pax figure, as there's joints out there that are not too tight, not too loose. Everything is pretty much fine, except for the cape kibble. And when trying to apply force when securing this guy to stand, sometimes he'll fall over because when applying too much force, these little heels will open out, causing this guy to fall. And now moving on to this guy's accessories. So starting off, he does come with a unicorn horn, which this is used for his transformation and alt mode. But hey, it could also be used as a knife. And then he comes with a bigger accessory, which I assume is supposed to be a sword. But for alt mode, this is used as like some sort of electric tail for this guy. But for now, it's a sword. And if you want, you could actually plug the little dagger on the bottom, making the sword look a little bigger. And no, unfortunately, Orion Pax's axe cannot go alongside the hand for Alpha Trion. And no, there's no weapon storage at all. This may look like something that could be used for weapon storage, but no. So yeah, the accessories are a little meh. But with the accessories out of the way, we can move on to articulation. Starting off, ball joint at the head, which can allow for an up and a down, and swivel. Full rotation at the arm, bend at the shoulder, bend at the elbow swivel. What do you call this type of swivel? And unfortunately, no wrist swivel. But hey, there's a waist swivel. Legs can spread, leg can move forward, can also move backwards, bend at the knee swivel, and lastly the foot is on a pivot joint. And that's pretty much it for articulation. Now moving on to size comparison. So starting off, here he is next to his fellow wavemate Orion Pax, Elita, B-127, Sentinel Prime, and Studio Series Bumblebee movie Megatron. I seriously could not think of what other figure I could use for comparison, so this is all I came up with. They're pretty much the same character, just they look different. And I think Sentinel Prime's a lot different in this one too. But honestly, I think we need the Transformers 1 versions of these figures. That would be a lot better. Let me know in the comments which one you would like to see in Prime Changers mode or even Studio Series mode first. But anyways, I think we can finally move on to transformation, which is pretty straightforward. So starting off, what you're going to do is open up this cape kibble. You're going to come back to the unicorn horn. There is that slot right there, which will peg in onto that tab, and then this entire section will close. And then after that, it will collapse over Alpha Trion's head. You might want to move these arms out so that we could work on the legs. Make sure the feet are tabbed in and the heel spur is moved out. After that, this entire purple section will shift outwards and close onto a tiny slot, and the rest will just shift backwards. Same thing for the other side, and after that you can align the legs to your desire. Moving on to the front part of the legs is pretty straightforward. You move this down, and whilst the instructions suggest to tab the arms onto that tab right there, I recommend not to, as you're going to need a little bit more freedom to move this guy's arm around whilst in alt mode. So I guess the only thing you simply need to do is just rotate this to where this is facing the front and then move the foot downwards. Same goes for the other side. And lastly, all you gotta do is just plug in this accessory on the back, and there you go. This guy has a tail. And here you have Alpha Trion in his beast mode, which is a pretty odd alt mode for this guy. I mean, obviously he transforms into a beast in the movie. It's just the way they went about it with this figure is weird. Especially the head sculpt. I personally think they should have gone with something a little better for the head sculpt. Maybe even for the head to move up and down, that would have been cool. But the only thing that moves up and down on the head is the unicorn horn. You do in fact tab this. What was an accessory for robot mode is now the tail for alt mode, but still leaves this hollow gappage here. But again, painting and sculpting, not too bad, not too bad. Of course, since this is a beast figure, there is an articulation to talk about, which starting off the unicorn horn does move up and down as previously mentioned. There is a ball joint right here, which allows the front leg to move out. There is also a bicep swivel, bend at the elbow. I still don't know what this counts as. And I guess the paw moving up and down counts as articulation as well. And waist swivel is still doable to a certain degree. Since the hind legs are on ball joints, the legs can move out and move forward and backwards a little bit. There's a hinge joint over here and a hinge joint over here. And lastly, once again, the foot is on a pivot joint. For a brief comparison, here he is alongside his fellow Prime Changer in alt mode, that being Orion Pax. Now, if this truck were to be an actual real life size semi-truck, then that would mean this guy would be huge in real life. Because Alpha Trion was taller than Orion Pax in robot mode, but Alpha Trion's a lot bigger in alt mode. So despite both of these deluxes being smaller than the average deluxe class for say Studio Series or Legacy, they appear to be size accurate here. And that's pretty impressive. I'm curious to see how much screen time Alpha Trion's going to have in his alt mode in Transformers 1. If I remember correctly, there was one jump scare camera shot of Alpha Trion in his alt mode, and I think it was either the teaser trailer or the official trailer. Bottom line, whatever he was charging at most likely did not survive him. But anyways, out of the two figures over here that were officially revealed before the other three were revealed, which one's your favorite? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all I had to say for this guy. Overall, he's okay, he's alright, he's just not great. Obviously, the quality is okay on mine, but what really messes up posing this guy is his cape kibble, and the accessories are a little meh. But other than that, I guess he's alright. If you're looking to pick this figure up, he is available on Target for only $19.99. I believe he is the easiest to find due to his kibble problems. The other figures don't necessarily have that issue. And if not on Target, he is available on Amazon for $19.99. Now, I am curious as to how Hasbro would do a Studio Series version of it. Would it be a Deluxe or would it be a Voyager? I personally think it should be a Voyager, as he should be taller than Optimus Prime, let alone Orion Pax, and come with much better accessories, like the T-Cogs. But only time will tell, perhaps in 2026, as there's nothing about an Alpha Trion being in the Studio Series in 2025, let alone as a Voyager, but there is something about a Sentinel Prime being a Voyager in the Studio Series in 2025, so looking forward to that. But again, that's a different story for a different review. If you like what you saw in this video, be sure to slam that like button, share this with your friends as well, turn on post notifications so that way you don't miss another upload, let me know how I did in this video, and most importantly, be sure to hit that big red subscribe button. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. See ya!